Hi, my name is Ryan Lemos and I'm the founder of Candify Healthcare. I'm going to show you today how our iOS app is integrated with our clinic in a bag product. But before we start, I'd like to introduce you to the two people we have here today. So we have Miss Mariama, who's going to be our test patient for the day, and we have our chief paramedic, Miss Charulata. And Charulata is going to do a bunch of tests on Miss Mariama. But prior to starting, I'd like to show you what we have as a clinic in a bag product. So the clinic in a bag product has a set of wireless diagnostic appliances that push the patient health data to a central app that runs on the iPad. So as part of the clinic in a bag product, you can see we have the blood pressure monitor, we have a visual exam device, that is the ear and the skin examination hardware device. We have the body temperature sensor, we have the pulse oximeter, we have a spirometer, we have a 3-lead ECG device which also does auscultation and the cardiac function. It's called the cardio sleeve. We've even got a Bluetooth weighing scale. So as I said before, all these appliances push data via Bluetooth to the iPad. The iPad sends the data to the cloud, and from the cloud the data will reflect instantly on our iPhone app. So here's my iPhone. So here's my iPhone, and as you can see, I have an iPhone 7 running iOS version 12.4. Now let's begin. So Charulata will first register the patient on the iPad. So to register the patient, we need some preliminary information like the name, the age, the date of birth, and the gender. And we manually assign a patient ID. So the patient ID is most important because that is tied to the patient reports. You don't enter the patient ID, you won't see any reports on the iPhone app. So Charulata is registering the patient as Maria, first name Maria, last name T, with the patient ID MT009. Have you saved it, Charlotte? Yeah. Okay, so the patient has been saved with the patient ID of MT009, and now let's see the same data making it to the iPhone, to the app on the iPhone, I mean. So here is a Candify app. So let me open the app and I go to the patient ID. I now enter the patient. So if you see, you go to the app, you have a patient ID field, you enter the patient ID. So I'm entering MT009. Okay. I now save the patient ID. So the patient ID has been saved. You can see that with a tick mark. I go to the dashboard, I make sure that I have the same patient. I go to the patient profile and you can see it's been registered as Maria T. I'll show you once again. Go to the patient profile. Yes, so the same data from the iPad has been pushed to the iPhone, right? And so Charulata is now going to do a bunch of vital tests, right? Which should not take more than a couple of minutes. So please proceed, Charulata. So Charulata goes to the vital tests. We make 2 manual entries as an oxygen assistance not required and the level of consciousness as fully alert. The blood pressure, heart rate, SpO2 and the body temperature and the weight will all enter automatically once the patient has been tested. So Charulata is now fixing the blood pressure cuff on Miss Mariamma. So the blood pressure and pulse oximetry can be done at the same time, and you should see the data flowing in instantly. Yes, we've got it. So you can see the heart rate and the percentage of oxygen in the blood has been registered automatically. So has the temperature. That's the body temperature. So waiting for the blood pressure to be registered. Yes, and the blood pressure too is registered. We'll now check the weight. Now check the patient's weight. Yes. Weight has been registered as 163.1 pounds, which is actually 74 kgs. We don't have an infrared height measurer, so Charulata is going to enter the weight manually, 5 feet 4 inches. Once you do that, the BMI gets automatically calculated as 28, right? That's kg per meter squared. So here we see the results of the vital examination of the patient. We have the blood pressure reading, heart rate, SpO2 percentage, the body temperature, weight, height and BMI. Now we'll see the same data reflecting onto the iPhone app once Charulata saves the exam. Please go ahead and save it, Charulata. Exam is being saved. Yes, so the exam has been saved. Great. So now Charulata will open the consolidated PDF report that will show you all these results in one consolidated report. Yep. You can see the patient's report. Yeah. So everything is color coded. So we see the blood pressure. 112 by 81, heart rate is 70, pulse oximetry, that's the percentage of oxygen in the blood, is 96, and the temperature, I think the AC is too cold out here. It's 93.5. Height is 64 inches, which is actually 5 feet 4 inches. Weight is 163 pounds, approximately 74 kgs, and the BMI is 28. If you can see, everything is color coded. And the vitals risk index is 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, which is good, there's no danger. Green means a parameter is in the healthy normal range. Yellow or orange means it's borderline, and anything in red is dangerous. We now see the same data reflect on the iPhone. So we enter the patient ID. T009. So MT009, you can see it's been saved with a tick mark. I go to the dashboard, I make sure I have the right patient. Yes. So that is Maria T. We had already saved it there. Okay. I now go to the dashboard and I check. So we did a vitals test. There you go. So the same data. It's 112 and the diastolic BP is 81. And here you go in text. So we get readings in text as well as in the graphical form. And the same holds true for all for all of the parameters. So here's the heart rate, here is the SpO2, here is the body temperature, here is the height, this is the weight, and this is the BMI. Okay, so on our app we have a section for every test that we do. Now there are more tests in the bag, like the cardiology test, your spirometer, lung function, your blood glucose, your lipid profile, your skin and ear tests, your urine analysis, drug test, rapid test, which will come in future. We've not enabled the last 3 tests, but you get the idea. So just for the sake of a demo and to prove to you that our app has been integrated with the clinic in a bag piece of hardware, we've done the vitals test for you. We now go to the consolidated report. I open the vital report and let's do a quick comparison between the vitals report on our iPhone app and the vitals report on the iPad. So Charulata, please focus on. Yeah. So you can see 112/81 the blood pressure on the iPad, 112/81 the blood pressure on the iPhone, 70 heart rate, 96 SpO2 on the iPad, 70 heart rate and 96 SpO2 on the iPhone, 93.5 body temperature on the iPad and 93.5 on the iPhone, 64 inches height, which is actually 5 feet 4 inches on the iPad, same on the iPhone, weight of 163.14 and a BMI of 28 on the iPad, weight of 163.14 and a BMI of 28 on the iPhone. You see the vitals risk index on the iPhone is good, and it's been assigned a rating of 5 on a scale of 1 to 10, exactly the same on the iPad, right? And the patient name is Maria T. We have the same patient here. So all good. Exactly the same data from the iPad flows into iPhone app, which proves that iPhone app has been integrated with the clinic in a bag product. Thank you so much for listening.